Welcome to the QA session. Today we will start basic testing principles. And QA or testing or QC all are same, synonymous in the project sense. So in especially IT project sense. So basically testing, what is testing? Testing means you basically verify something. Verify what? Verify the objectives or properties of an object. So object could be any, like any part of the object in the application under test, AUT, right? So the main purpose of doing this is to catch bugs or defects or issues. So there is a difference between bugs, defects, and issues. A little bit. I'll tell you about the difference later. But just now you understand that the basic purpose of software testing is to find out the issues or bugs in it. So how do you verify objectives or the properties of an object? By comparing. So what do you compare? You compare what do you want with what it is, right? So what do you want is coming from requirements. Requirements in the sense business requirements, which are written by the business people, like business analyst, system analyst. So they discuss these requirements, like what do you want and what to implement and everything with the client or the customer. So customer is the one who is actually like planning to create this project by putting some budget and the requirements. So he will give what he wants to implement, and business analyst will take down the notes, and those will be called requirements. So the requirements are the expected values, expected results for tester, and whatever you're getting on the application under test, okay, AUT, are the actual values or actual results. So by doing verification and validation, what you're doing is you're actually comparing both of them, simple comparison, both are equal or not. So both are equal, then you consider that step as pass, otherwise fail. Simple as that. Okay, so in simplest terms, what is a property and what is a objectives? Let's say if you take object simple as pen, okay, that's a real-time object, right? So anything that you see and feel, touch is an object in real world. So every object has some properties and methods. So what are the properties? What are the properties? Its color is red, height is so and so, its ink color is so and so blue. These are all properties. So this is a property, this is a value. Every time it exists in pairs. Color of the pen is red, this is a value. Height is property name, 2 inches is property value, so etc. So these are its properties by which you can identify the object. So what are the objectives? Objectives means what it can do, functions, right? What it can do, it can actually write or poke, sketch, whatever you want to do with it. So these are all the objectives or functions. So an object has 2 things. One is property, one is method. So there are many names. Okay. So now you have both properties and objectives, right? Now you got to do some testing on this. So how do you test whether the pen is writing or not? So requirements say you have the requirements too. So requirements say pen should write, right? Pen should be flexible, right? So these are the real requirements. Let's say now you are testing it. So whether the pen is writing or not by writing actually. And if it is writing, you say that particular case or step is passed. If pen cannot write, then that's an issue. So you note down the issue and report it to someone. And also you see pen is flexible, it is bent, then it's fine. If it is not bent, let's say, so pen should not be flexible, it could be requirement. So it's all dependent upon the business requirement. And broken, if it is broken easily, then you can treat it as an issue, right? So that's how you test any object in real life or in virtual world, in IT industry, information technology industry. So the primary purpose, like I stated, is to identify problems or issues or defects. And what do you want to achieve finally? Final goal for testing is to deliver a bug-free application or deliver a quality software. That's why you call it quality assurance. So client customer satisfaction is automatically achieved. So these are all primary purpose of quality, QA or quality assurance. So you assure the quality, that's the main work you do. And you also make sure completeness and correctness of the software. Software is basically it's a collection of objects, you can say. So each and every object you must validate and verify. Now what is a completeness? Completeness means you cover all functionalities, whatever is there in the requirements, you cover all the functionalities. And correctness means each functionality is satisfied or not. So both things must be kept in mind while doing the testing. So when it comes to software quality, there are two aspects, technical and non-technical. So technical are business requirements, customer expectations, these are things you deal with mainly. When it comes to non-technical, budget, cost, and time spent on the project, these are all the things. So mostly these are not our issues because non-technical will be dealt with by customer, and technical aspects are our business. So we have to deal with these because you need to understand the business requirements and you need to thereby you understand the customer expectations, and accordingly you write your test scenarios and test cases. Okay, so that's a brief introduction about the testing. Now let's jump into software